Here we see some new matchups. We see Magnus, who is facing up against Iniyan.
Wow, and already Grandmaster opposition in round 2. Magnus is not playing the cow this time. He's going for an opening that we call the hippopotamus defense. That would be if white pushes a pawn. Now, he's doing it, Magnus. He wants to put his bishop and fianchetto it, create symmetry on the right, the left, on both halves of the board. Then he'll push the corner pawns forward and create the teeth of a hippopotamus. It's a dangerous opening. You lure the opponent forward, and then you pounce.
But it's quite crazy. I don't think I've hardly ever seen a 2600 player facing up against Magnus in the second round before.
Yeah,
he is lower rated in the rapid games and probably on chess.com compared to how it is in the standard FIDE ranking, but still, I mean, he's a 2600 player.
Exactly. I mean, he is very experienced Grandmaster as well. He scored some fantastic results in his career, so this is not going to be easy for Magnus, who decides to break formation. He leans back, stretches. He's playing on the side that his king is, so this is high risk. Don't try it at home. Ladies and gentlemen, the white king is open now, but Magnus going for the kill.
Elephant. I don't think people think that elephants are dangerous. Or tiger. Hyena.
Magnus, he's been on safari in South Africa, naming all the animals that have chess openings named after them. Saying that the elephant gambit not dangerous, the hippopotamus maybe a bit of a killer if you allow it, but the cow isn't the most deadly of the animals. And wow, we see a piece sacrifice by Iniyan here. That is controversial. Magnus Carlsen is going to have to defend once the bishop is taken. The black knight jumps in, and this pawn is not easy to protect. If the knight lands, it lands with a fork, hitting multiple pieces, hitting the queen, hitting the rook, maybe the bishop as well. That is going to be danger for Magnus, who's just smiling. He doesn't see the evaluation bar, of course. He doesn't know that black is much better.
And I love the response from Magnus here. It's like he's sitting back, laughing, enjoying this, and yeah, he looks happy.
But maybe we can bluff our way out of here.
What do you think? Is bluffing possible here, David?
Sveta, you're the poker player. You tell me, is that the face of someone who's confident in their bluff?
That looks like someone I would run away. I would lay down my hand and go far away right now, but I don't think Magnus has a choice. He has to face him.
Yeah, no folding in chess, or at least you don't want to resign too early. And the reason that this is better for black is because once the black knight lands in, attacking the white queen and attacking the rook, at the very minimum you'll get a rook back for a knight, and when the dust settles, black will have a rook and 2 pawns in return for 2 minor pieces, a knight and bishop. That's a 1-point advantage, at least in mathematical terms. That's what the computer will see. But of course, still plenty left on the board.
But he still achieved something here, Magnus. He achieved more than a minute time advantage with that situation, because Iniyan is not secure, it seems. He's still evaluating this.
Exactly. It's a chaotic position. This is a very weird pawn configuration. I'll just draw some colors on the board. This center is very rarely seen. There we see a white pawn capture. And I think it's just because you can't rely on pattern recognition now. It's so new, fresh, this type of position. Magnus loves that. We talked about the challenge that he likes to present himself, but Iniyan will find it difficult to navigate. There we see the clock being burnt. He's spent now around half of his start time just to get here now at move 17. Of course, the biggest questions lie ahead.
By the way, for those who just turned on the stream, we are also here with Isaac Sandelman, who is with Lovable. Lovable that can I know this is going to sound simplified, I'm sorry about that, but create app out of ideas, in a sense, where you have AI that creates the app that you envision. In that, when we're on that topic, we have been trying to get viewers to send in their ideas for what app he should create on air. So please, in the chat, send your ideas for an app that you would like to have made. And Isaac, you're going to make it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to make it. So we're going to select one of the apps after we have gathered some of these ideas. And then I'm going to go off cam and I'm going to build it out. And then I'm going to display it in the next, after I build it. Yeah.
I look forward to it. We still have 2.5 games to decide which app we're going to use. Yeah. So write in the chat, either if you're on Twitch, if you're on YouTube, if you're somewhere else watching, we're going to be monitoring the chats. But Speaking of creating, how's Magnus going to create problems for Iniyan here?
It's tough. He's actually up a full piece, Magnus Carlsen, but his position is so bad that the bar has turned fully black. Black has a winning advantage now due to the power, mainly, of this pony. This is not just a knight, it's not just a horse, it's a stallion right now, controlling most of the board. White, though, it's mainly about the queen and rook. Offside, absent from the defense. White's king has no pawn protection around it. Magnus wiping his eyes there, trying to perk up, because in the near future, watch out for the black queen to swing in somewhere on this diagonal. Some squares are covered for now, but that is the danger. Magnus, if he takes back with the knight, we'll see black's pawns start motoring forward, kicking pieces out the way as they march. So now the clock times here, the advantage that Magnus had built up being eaten away. I'm seeing that some of our chat asking for modeled games for every openings. Isaac might be forced to delve into the chess realm, the chess sphere, if our viewers get what they want. In the meantime, Magnus is delving forward with his knights, but they have no backup. I'm looking at the black queen jumping the whole way in now on this diagonal as a potentially killer move. Magnus fatal attack incoming there towards his king. Sveta, I don't see him defending this. I think this is a golden opportunity. If this move is played, Magnus would be in huge trouble. Move. Okay, still a good move. There are no bad moves in such a good position here for Iniyan. That is sneaky. He's threatening to take this knight and then jump his queen into one of the squares on the dark square diagonal. And Magnus improving his queen. There are knight checks as well that looks super scary. That is a very strong move. Magnus will be forced to step back. And now the black queen has to jump in. This is looking deadly now.
Is there some kind of trickery here? I mean, 116, is it still complex enough that time is an issue?
Yes, but if the next 2-3 moves, Magnus can't find a trick and can't find some way to just survive, then this could be over before he knows it. Iniyan on the brink of a huge upset. Magnus needs magic here and now. I think it's a small window of opportunity. If he can survive and the opponent goes down past the 1 minute mark, then game on. But that's why Magnus is slowing down. He knows he needs something. I'm trying to weigh up what might be the most practical. Trying to bring his rook in is what he wants, but that would walk into a nasty knight check, and the rook would be lost. He's struggling. I don't see it either. Magnus can barely move, barely survive. He pushes a pawn, but that pawn can simply be captured. There are knight checks now in the air. He's lost here, Magnus Carlsen. That is a deadly check, and look at what's about to happen. The black knight jumps back. That's a fork, hitting the king, hitting the queen. The bishop can't take, it is pinned. The knight takes, and there the bishop jumps in. The white queen is lost. Magnus is down, a queen for 2 knights. But more importantly, it is the king that's about to die, and Magnus is about to resign. There we go, the big shock has happened here in round 2.
Wow. Iniyan. I mean, yes, he's a great player. He's a GM. He's a 2,600 FIDE-rated player, but still, we would not see this coming.
Do you know who I blame?
Tell me.
Anna Kramling. She tempted Magnus with the cow opening. He went kind of semi-cow opening round 1. He went the hippopotamus opening round 2. But these openings, they have a dubious reputation. And against strong grandmasters, there's a risk of punishment.
Once Magnus Carlsen actually gets punished for his exploitiveness with different openings, we can see that Iniyan is just simply too good of a player to get away with that. And that means we have a Magnus Carlsen with 1 out of 2. How hard is it to come back from that?
Oh, it's going to be tough. Magnus is going to have to go on a massive winning streak now. Traditionally, in Title Tuesday, the winning score is around 9.5 to 10. That's the average that you need in order to win one of these tournaments. So Magnus might have to win the rest of his games, or at least go close to perfection in order to catch up with the leading pack now. And
the tiebreaker will now never be good enough, right?
Exactly. He will have, or